Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
The 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride is Saturday, June 29th. Sign-up begins at 6:30 a.m. behind Greiner Crop Service, east of Keota Water Tower. Free will donation. Includes lunch and snacks along the ride. Proceeds to area 4-H and FFA fairs. The ride leaves Keota at 7:45 and will be a 60-mile round trip. Sponsored by Southeast Iowa Tractor Association Incorporated. It's the 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride, Saturday, June 29th. And if you don't have a tractor, come and watch along the route. The Keokuk County Expo Fair Kickoff Barbecue Cook-Off is Saturday, July 13th. $100 per team, up to 4. Deadline to sign up is Friday, June 28th. Cash payout is $350 to first place per category. Meal for the public starts at 5:30 with a free will offering. Be sure to sign up by the entry deadline, June 28th. Stop at the Keokuk County Extension Office to pick up a packet. Proceeds to support the Keokuk County Expo. Sponsored by Keokuk County Farm Bureau. Contemporary Christian artist Leanna Crawford is coming to the Watch Year Opera House in Watch Year, Iowa, Saturday, June 29th at 7 p.m. Doors open up at 6 p.m. Advance tickets are $15 plus tax, $20 at the door.
Hey, it's Leanna Crawford, and I am so cheery to be coming to What Cheer, Iowa. It's going to be such a sweet night of music and praising Jesus together, and I cannot wait to see you there.
All proceeds to support the Tri-County Food Pantry, brought to you by the Watch Year Methodist Church. Ticket information can be found on the Watch Year Methodist Church Facebook page. The Keokuk County Veterans Affairs Office will host an open house on Thursday, June 27th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The office has relocated to the first floor to offer easier accessibility. Stop by to meet Michelle Herman, the commissioners, and enjoy a light lunch. The Keokuk County VA Commission is located at the Keokuk County Courthouse in Sigourney, Iowa at 101 South Main. Again, the Keokuk County Veterans Affairs Office will host an open house Thursday, June 27th from 11 to 1.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to Shetler!
Indeed, it is time to Shetler here on Steve Shetler Media. It's the morning wake up. You're off to a good start on your Monday morning. Of course, the morning wake up brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery, right along Highway 92 East Oskaloosa. Experience the color at Stam's. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, closed on Sundays. Big thanks to Brent and the gang at Stam Garden Center and Nursery for being our headline sponsor here on the Morning Wake Up. From the Oski Dental Studios, call 641-673-4845 to schedule your appointment with either Dr. Schuster or Dr. Drawn. They are accepting new patients. Oski Dental going to file all your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta Dental provider, and you can find them at 902 South 17th Street. Oskaloosa. The Oski Dental Studios, Stam Garden Center and Nursery morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. Let's take a look at our weather. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. And you can stop in and see Cindy and the gang Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon. And today, well, it's going to be hot. Just no getting around it today. Gradually becoming mostly sunny. We have a few clouds this morning, but gradually becoming all sunny and hot. A high of 93. South winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, there is a partly cloudy sky, a low of 75, still a little bit breezy. Tuesday, a 50% chance of showers and storms, mainly in the afternoon. Sunny, hot again, 93 for the high. Tuesday night, a chance of some showers and thunderstorms, pretty good chance at 60%. And a low right around 66. Wednesday should be a little bit nicer. Sunny and 83, so not quite as hot on Wednesday. High of 83. Right now, our current conditions, humidity at 76%. Winds are south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The barometer at 29.92 and 72 degrees currently in southeast Iowa. Now, special note from the National Weather Service. They say hot and humid conditions today. And that's mainly for southeast Iowa, also northeast Missouri and west central Illinois. Heat index readings could get to about 95 to 100 degrees this afternoon and early evening. So do be advised of that. Again, going to be hot today. And if you plan to spend time outdoors this afternoon and this evening, be sure to stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, take frequent breaks in shaded areas or in an air-conditioned building. So, and of course, just regular advice, don't leave your pets or your children in parked vehicles for very long because it could get dangerous real quick. So, another warm day here in southeast Iowa today and tomorrow, both going to be 93 for the high. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Earlier this morning, 6 a.m., we put up our This or That. Which one you going with? Which one you going to choose? It's brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty. This is bagels. That is donuts. Donuts for me. Please. Donuts. Yes, I'll take the donuts. Every day and twice on Sunday. Donuts for Steve. So you got bagels or donuts. If you pick bagels instead of a donut, you're weird. I'm judging you right now. Bagels or donuts are this or that. Go back to 6 a.m. on your timeline, and you can get your comment in there. Coming up at noon today, our question of the day, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa, 202 North Main in Sigourney. How many times do you switch outfits before you leave for the day? This one might be geared more towards the ladies. As far as, I'm a guy. I'm your average guy. I don't worry too much about what I have on. But I know somebody else in the Shetler house that might switch a time or two. I'm not naming any names. How many times do you switch outfits before leaving for the day? That'll be our question of the day. Goes up at noon on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page. Get in on that. What else we got going on? On Friday, we crowned our champion of the 90s Country Superstar For the Fun of It tournament, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. Josh Clubb, the handyman at Son-in-Law Services here in the Sigourney and surrounding area. And George Strait crowned our champ. George defeated Reba fairly handily. So George walks his way through the tournament, stomps that mud hole and walks it dry. So George Strait, the champ of the 90s overall tournament. Again, this included guys, girls, groups and duos, everybody from the 90s. It was a stacked field, and George Strait is our champ of the 90s. So George Strait, King of Country, is the king of the tournament, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. Now, that does it for our tournament this month, but next month in July, we do have a new topic. We're going to get out of 90s country music. We've been there for the last few months. Coming up in July, with it being county fair season, we're going to do a county fair tournament for the best county fair in southeast Iowa. And we're going to include everybody right around this area. In fact, we're even going to go just stretch it a little bit outside of our normal area. But yeah, everybody in southeast Iowa, kind of over into south central Iowa a little bit, is going to be involved in this. So again, July's tournament will be the best southeast Iowa county fair. So, we'll have the expo, we'll have the Watch Year Fair, we'll have the fairs in Wapello County, Jefferson County, Mahaska County, all the area fairs going to be involved in that. So if you have some hometown pride for your county fair, we'll be featuring those coming up for the Fun of It tournament in July. Let's see. Coming up this week here on Steve Shetler Media, of course, on Tuesdays, we go to Smoky Row in Oskaloosa for TNT, the Tuesday night tune-up. That comes up every Tuesday night through mid-August. Tuesdays at 7 at Smoky Row. It's your local and area driving racing show featuring area drivers each Tuesday night. Safe Grafke is your host. We usually have Curtis Vanderwall hanging out. So tune in Tuesday nights, tomorrow night, Smoky Row in Oskaloosa for the Tuesday night tune-up. Coming up on Friday, this is like an extreme close-up picture. His name is Mike Walsh of the Mike Walsh Band here in Iowa, the Iowa Music Showcase featuring Mike Walsh this Friday from 11:30 to noon. Tune in. We'll get to know Mike together. He's another artist that I've never met in person. Only messaged him back and forth a few times on Facebook. And we're going to be talking to Mike Walsh, get some live original music from him, live and in person at Barnwired in Sigourney on Friday. So tune in. Be there in person or watch here on Steve Shetler Media. That's Mike Walsh, our Iowa Music Showcase on Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, we go back to Brothers Market in Sigourney for the sports section, as Mitch Eslick is your host. This past Saturday, we had Josh Clubb and the Sigourney Junior High softball girls. And this coming Saturday, we'll have, I believe, if it all works out, Coach Shelley Striegel and some of the Sigourney High School softball girls, the highly ranked and very talented Sigourney softball team, going to be taking over our sports section on Saturday morning. So make sure you tune in. If you do shopping, here's the thing. When you do some grocery shopping on Saturday mornings at Brothers Market, we've got people that walk in, and we're set up right when you walk into Brothers Market. And people walk in, they're kind of freaked out. They're like, oh, we're walking right into a live TV show. And that's kind of what's happening, but that's what we want. We like the atmosphere, the live atmosphere of the grocery store. We like to hear the grocery carts and their rackety noises going by. It's a cool feel, and it's a neat thing. So check it out, Brothers Market for the sports section. Am I missing anything else? Let's go through some community calendar events as some things coming up on the calendar. I believe we talked about this last week. Got about a month before this happens. The Delta Firemen's Ball coming up on Saturday, July 27th. Make sure you put that on your calendar. Let's see here what else we got going on. Do keep in mind, these are very important. The Oskaloosa Summer Lunch Program going on. That's through July 31st. If you want to volunteer for that, you can do that. Just contact the folks there on your screen. That is every Wednesday, the Oskaloosa Summer Lunch Program. And then also coming up in July, the Southern Iowa Fair. Saturday, July 20th is the date for the big concert at the Southern Iowa Fair. Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry, along with Dylan Carmichael, and the boys from right here in Southeast Iowa, going to be entertaining at the Southern Iowa Fair. So make sure you get your tickets for that show. All right, that catches us up on things. A good morning to you. Let's grab this. Let's take a look at my phone real quick. Bubby, good morning to you. You were first on the draw in the comments, so good morning to you. Carson, we got Dan, Tamra, Sandy, Nancy, Jackie, Eloise, Cindy, and Sherry all tuning in. All right, let's check things out. Oh, no, you know what we got to do? I almost forgot. I tend to forget doing the birthdays. I don't know why. Let's do some birthdays right now. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Our celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers at 641-295-4142, hometown-re.com. Not a ton of birthdays today on either side. For our hometown birthdays, our local and area birthdays, hey, I have got... People are probably wondering here lately, how many aunts and relatives does Steve have? And I tell you what, I've got a bunch. And they're all right around the area here. My Aunt Rachel Kohler has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Rachel. My Aunt Rachel with a birthday today. Bill Swank. If Bill is watching, I hope he is, because Bill was a longtime listener when I was on the radio for years, and always enjoyed my conversations with Bill. So, Bill, hope you have a great day. And hopefully you are tuned in to Steve Shetler Media. Celebrity birthdays for today got Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac, 77 years old. We got Peter Weller, the actor. You probably best know Peter Weller as RoboCop from back in the 80s. RoboCop, Peter Weller is 77. And then Mindy Kaling, the actress, comedian from The Office, and she had her own show as well. Mindy turning 45 today. So those are your celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Nikki Leathers at Hometown Real Estate. All right, also on this date in history, it was today, which today is June 24th. If you look at your calendars. On this date, 1916, actress Mary Pickford. You ever heard of Mary Pickford? I have not. In 1916, Mary Pickford was awarded Hollywood's first $1 million contract. And it was for 2 years. She was known at the time as America's sweetheart. Now, that deal would be close to $25 million in today's money. But the first $1 million actress in Hollywood, Mary Pickford, on this date, 1916. It was on this date in 1930, radar was used to detect planes for the very first time. Interesting. On this date in 1947, a pilot named Ken Arnold reported seeing flying saucers over Mount Rainier, Washington. There were evidently 9 objects flying in a V formation, Mount Rainier, Washington, 1947. And also on this date, 1963, the home video recorder was demonstrated for the very first time. So 1963. Today on the National Day calendar, it's National Patch Day. It's National Take Back the Lunch Break Day. What, do people not take their lunch breaks? Why wouldn't you? And it's also National Pralines Day. What is a praline? I should have looked that up before I went on today. National Pralines Day. All right, before we go any further, let's hear from our sponsor once again, which our headliner is Stam Garden Center and Nursery.
Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
If you like red, white, and blue from Tassel Ridge Winery, but prefer sweet white wines, try our Star Spangled White. Star Spangled White is a sweet white wine made entirely from Edelweiss grapes grown right at the winery. It offers aromas of pineapple and hints of mandarin orange, pear, and pineapple on the palate. Chill a bottle of Star Spangled White and sip it while you watch the sunset. While Star Spangled White is an excellent sipping wine, it can also be used as an important ingredient in Star Spangled White cake. Check the QR code for the recipe. Tassel Ridge Star Spangled White wine is available at about 400 retail outlets located all over Iowa. Look for the displays of Tassel Ridge wines where you shop. If the store doesn't offer Star Spangled White, ask the manager to get it for you. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lighton on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check out our website at tasselridge.com.
All righty, we thank our sponsors for making our show possible here on Steve Shuttler Media. The Morning Wake Up brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Yes, thank you, Cindy, in the comments for explaining what a praline is. And it sounds like something I would never, ever eat because I'm picky and I don't like nuts. Let's do some things you need to know. Come on now. Things you need to know. All right, during heat waves, we are going to see a high of 93 today and tomorrow. During heat waves, the U.S. Department of Energy makes these recommendations, and I want to know, does anybody follow these recommendations? The U.S. Department of Energy says during a heat wave, you should set your thermostat to 78 when you're at home. 78 degrees when you're at home. 82 when you're sleeping, and 85 when you're away from home. Those are the recommendations from the U.S. Department of Energy. Why even have the air conditioning on if you're going to keep it that hot in your house? 78 when you're there during awake hours, 82 when you're sleeping, 85 when you're... No, I'm not doing that. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Coming up on Thursday is the first presidential debate. Again, that's this Thursday. Biden and Trump will be duking it out. That's what they should do. They should have like a celebrity cage match between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Two old men going at it. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Failed to qualify for the debate, so he will not be part of that. Let's go to AAA. They project 70.9 million travelers going to be heading 50 miles or more from home for the 4th of July holiday travel period. That's a 5% increase from last year, an 8% increase from 2019. So a lot of people on the road traveling for the upcoming Independence Day. Jennifer Hudson, in Things You Need to Know, says that she learned that her dad fathered 27 kids during his lifetime. Jennifer Hudson with a lot of maybe, I don't know, what do you call that? Like half sisters, half brothers? Let's go to Shannon Doherty. She is claiming that her estranged husband is dragging out their divorce in the hopes that, quote, I die before he's required to pay me, because she is battling cancer. So Shannon Doherty making those claims about her estranged husband. Let's see here, former wrestler, I guess, and actor Taylor Wiley, I think is how you say his name, known for his roles in Hawaii Five-0 and Magnum P.I., has passed away at the age of 56. They say he's one of those actors that if you know him, if you saw him, his name might not ring a bell, but the big guy, Taylor Wiley, passing away here in the last few days. Hershey going to be coming out with a new line of protein bars that have familiar flavors. Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers and Hershey's Cookies and Cream Protein Bars will be in your store soon, so look for that. How about the Boston Celtics winning their 18th NBA championship, and they held a duck boat parade on Friday to celebrate, so congratulations to the Celtics. How about actress Judy Garland, her hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, raising money to buy a pair of ruby slippers, there's no place like home, that she wore in The Wizard of Oz after they were stolen from a local museum and then turned over to an auction company. The state legislature set aside $100,000 to help, but they're thinking that bidding could go over $1 million for those ruby slippers. You'd think if they knew that they were stolen, that the auction place would just give them back to the rightful owner. I mean, isn't that common sense? Jon Stewart going to be hosting live episodes of Comedy Central's The Daily Show with, let's see, that'll be from Milwaukee and Chicago on the closing nights of the Republican and Democratic conventions. Be on the lookout for that. How about college basketball? I saw a video late last week of this guy. College basketball keeping their eyes on University of Florida incoming freshman. I'm going to butcher his name. It must be like French Canadian. Olivier, is it Oliver? Olivier Rau? Something? I don't know how you say his name. The thing is, you'll know him when you see him. He's 7'9". Like he doesn't even have to. He just stands there and dunks the ball. 7 feet 9 inches tall, and it looks like he's somewhat mobile. Like, you know, when you get that big, usually the guys are just big and slow, and they just kind of lumber around and can't move. This guy looks like he can move. 7'9". He'll be playing for the University of Florida. That makes him the Montreal native, the tallest basketball player ever. 7'9". Again, I don't know how to say his name. It's French Canadian, so Olivier Rioux, something like that. I don't know. Paramount Plus, they're working on a prequel to the show Dexter. So far, they have Patrick Dempsey and Christian Slater lined up to be a part of that. Again, prequels, sequels. Hollywood just needs to come up with original ideas. We don't need the backstory on everything. We just need new original content. Let's do this. Today's impossible. It's impossible. Question. Today's impossible question. I find this impossible. All right. The question is, 89% of American families buy this every week. So they're saying 9 out of 10 families buy this every week. I find this really hard to believe. I don't remember the last time I bought one of these. It's a food item. 89% of American families buy this every week. They say pie. Really? Does anybody watching this show right now buy pie every week? I mean, is that a thing? Maybe a pizza pie. But like pie? Every week? 90% of people? Okay. Do you guys? I like pie. Let's get weird in here.
That is weird.
In the weird. Americans take the fewest vacation days in the world. Americans are workaholics who rarely take a break. A recent report from Expedia reveals that Americans take fewer vacation days than any other country in the world. Now, granted, since I started doing Steve Shetler Media, and I'm a one-man band here, vacation days have not happened in the last year. Now, back before that, in radio world, I made sure to get my vacation days in. Maybe that's why I don't work in radio anymore. Because if I earned the vacation days, I was going to take them. I always took my vacation days. Do you guys take your vacation days? All of them? You should. On average, Americans get 12 vacation days a year. 53% of us don't use them all. Why? Take your vacation days, people. Relax. Get away from work. Yes, Cindy, thank you. Thank you that I'm not the only one that does not buy pie every week. How about a pet donkey? Let's go to this story. The Drury family adopted Diesel the donkey from the Bureau of Land Management. And Diesel the donkey lived on their ranch in peace for the first few years of his life alongside chickens, a llama, and a miniature donkey. However, on a hike in April of 2019, Diesel the donkey got spooked and ran off. Now, the thing is, enter a guy named Max Fennell, a professional triathlete who occasionally hunts in wild California with a bow and arrow. On a recent trip in the spring, Max stumbled upon an elk herd and was stunned to see a donkey part of the herd. And they're thinking it was Diesel the donkey is now hanging out with the elk. The guy was saying, probably one of my wildest hunting trips to date. So donkey fiercely defend their flocks, and they think that the Diesel the donkey is now an elk. He has successfully transitioned into the elk herd. So interesting stuff there. Let's stay in Southwest Iowa for this next weird story. This will be posted once again at 1 o'clock this afternoon as our weird news story. The Democratic Party in the Southwest Iowa County, is in the process of nominating a Republican for one of the party's slots on the November ballot. Republican Chris Clark of Sidney, Iowa, is chairman of the Fremont County Board of Supervisors, but he lost this month's GOP primary by 7 votes. Fremont County Democratic Party Chairman John Powers says that was, quote, an unexpected result, and a recent change in Iowa law prohibits Clark and all other losers of party primaries from running as an independent in the general election. So they don't get to try again, basically. Now, the Democratic Party thought it was important that we give Chris Clark another chance, and according to a news release from Fremont County Democrats, Clark is expected to accept the Democratic Party's nomination, but will remain a Republican. That is confusing and weird. We will put that whole story up at 1 o'clock today on my Facebook page. Happening in Southwest Iowa, a Republican running as a Democrat. That is weird. How about this? An animal control officer in Virginia was summoned to a Goodwill thrift store after an employee sorting through a box of donated books found something that they couldn't read. It was a 4-foot slithering snake. The Stafford County Sheriff's Office said on social media that animal control was called to the Goodwill store to get rid of the unwanted donation. Again, a 4-foot snake in with a box of books. Let's see here. The sheriff's office did not reveal the species of the snake at the store, but explained it was likely a local snake in search of shade. That slithering snake. And then finally, in some weird news today, an American tourist was killed by an elephant. Where's Neil Crott? We need to talk like elephants. An American tourist killed by an elephant in the Zambian city of Livingstone this week, and the second such attack in the country this year. Elephants, Breaking Bad. The officials said Friday that the 64-year-old Juliana Glay-Turno was killed when an elephant that was part of a herd the tourists were watching attacked their vehicle. They threw the tourist out and trampled her to death. She was part of a group that had stopped nearby because of traffic caused by the elephants. So the elephants had kind of backed up traffic, and then they turned on the tourists and trampled the 64-year-old to death. That is weird and unfortunate. Let's go to the files of law and disorder. In some disorder today, 5 men were convicted by a federal jury in Las Vegas this week for their part in operating a streaming service, an illegal streaming service called Jetflix. Not Netflix, Jetflix, which officials say was one of the largest illegal streaming services in the U.S. Jetflix, which charged $9.99 per month for the streaming service, generated millions of dollars in subscription revenue and caused, quote, substantial harm to television programming copyright owners. At one point, Jetflix claimed to host more than 183,000 TV episodes, which would be a larger lineup than the combined libraries of Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, and Amazon Prime. So Jetflix is what it was called. Had quite the lineup of programming, but it was illegal, and they have been shut down. Which reminds me, does anybody ever go to the state fair, the Iowa State Fair? And outside of the, what's it called? The one building with all the different vendors inside. You know what I'm talking about? Outside of that, they always have these people set up that sells something like what we're talking about. And I always thought, man, this is too good to be true. They can't possibly be legitimate. And I'm not saying that's the same group or anything, but I'm just saying that's kind of fishy. Anyway, back to our normal scheduled programming. Let's do something that'll make you smile.
Something that makes you smile.
Something that'll make you smile is brought to us by Lifetime Dental Solutions, and you know they are moving. By mid-July, they'll be in their new location at 115 South Jefferson in Sigourney. It's the previous Sigourney Smiles. They're accepting new patients. Give them a call, 641-622-2669. Lifetime Dental Solutions, Dr. Stacy Freeze. Something that'll make you smile, Lily King. I think I have a picture of this, maybe, somewhere. Maybe I don't. Thought I had a picture for this. Nope. Lily King clinched a spot on Team USA for a third time, but that might not have been the high point of the Olympic Veteran Swimmers Week. After securing her spot in not one but two Olympic races at the U.S. Olympic Time Trials, King watched Thursday as her longtime boyfriend, James Wells, got down on one knee in front of NBC television cameras and asked her to marry him. And still in her dripping wet bathing suit, she said yes. So congratulations to Lily King, Olympic swimmer, and now engaged. Congratulations to her. We'll have that story up in full at about 7:45 this morning on the Steve Shetler Media Facebook page. And let's go to the Varied Industry Building. Yes, that's right, Dan. I always get a kick out of the Varied Industry Building. So, yeah. All right, anyway, moment of duh. Let's do this. An police officer, accidentally shot through a wall at the Los Angeles Police Department's Academy on Monday. The shooting happened at about 7:30 a.m. June 17th, while the officer was handling his department-approved, privately purchased firearm. Investigators said the officer was firing his weapon when he fired off a round into a nearby wall. Whoops. The department described the incident as a non-tactical, unintentional discharge. Investigators believe the round may have landed around the trees outside the office. However, officers never found the bullet. The officer was alone in his office when he discharged the weapon. No one was injured during the incident. They have, however, launched an investigation into the incident. So, yeah, big whoops, accidentally shooting through the wall in Los Angeles. That's your Duh. And finally, let's wrap this up with the top box office movies for this weekend. As your top money-making movies, Inside Out 2 appears to be the blockbuster of the summer. Inside Out 2 bringing in $100 million this past weekend. That brings their total to $355.1 million. So Inside Out 2, a big hit. Bad Boys is at number 2 for the weekend, $18.7 million. It's brought in, coming up on $150 million total. The movie The Bike Riders, which I think looks pretty good, brought in just $10 million in its opening weekend. After that, you got the Garfield movie and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes with $3.6 million each for the weekend. After that, the rest of your top 10 is under $3 million with If, The Exorcism, Thelma, The Watchers, and Ghost right here, right now. So, those are your top movies for the weekend. Let's take a look once again at our forecast. It's brought to us by The Garden Gate. Clouds turn to sunshine today, a high of 93. It's going to be a hot one today. And we do, of course, thank Stam Garden Center and Nursery for bringing us our morning wake-up. You can experience the color at Stam's, just outside of Oskaloosa on Highway 92 East. We thank Oski Dental. They sponsor the Oski Dental Studios. Give them a call, 641-673-4845. Coming up later on this Monday, of course, we'll have In Remembrance Of. That comes up at 8 a.m. Hopefully, we'll get an encouraging word from Kevin Hempel at 5. We'll get Successful Farming this evening. Real Talk with Aaron and Steve. And then Cards Subject to Change, talking pro wrestling at 7 p.m. this evening. That goes along with all of our regular Facebook stuff as well. So tune in. Appreciate you guys watching this morning. And otherwise, stay safe today. Stay cool if you can. And we'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m.